DX. Yes, we're transmitting. Let's see if we got any. Alright, got one YouTuber in here and 3 Facebookers. Hello to everybody. I think it's Monday. Let's take in a few things going here. That's cool, Ruby. Thanks, man. Oh, Dublin Bickle in Canada. Damn leprechaun, Adam, what's up? Alright guys, so what's happening? It is, I guess, no DX, so I'll cut this off. So, 8 transistor units, what's up David? 8 transistor units seems to be the popular item on this new South Jersey line. And to remind you guys that when I did this line, I really intended for the standard 2879 HG part would be more used in my shop, and then I added the 2290 and the 454 also to the line, which, like I said in past videos, what's going on, Edison, that I just grossly overlooked the performance and how good these transistors run, the 2290s, the 454s. I mean, I am deeply impressed by a part that I can truly say that they're very, 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 very close to the original Toshiba as far as the output power and the tune of this. Not trying to, I'm giving away secrets. No, I'm not. I'm just making a flat ass statement about this. Now the C's, no, not so much. And the standard 2879s, they're not so much as the same as the original Toshibas. So as we get into these things, I'm doing a 2-part video. This is for one guy and this is for another guy. So I figured, hey, it's a great combination. I'm going to run them together. So we're going to go over the performance on this little guy. And I normally do not put an amplifier in a cabinet without a fan kit. Now, this one here was kind of a special deal. The guy's a hunter. He didn't want the fan noise and whatever have you. So I said, I'll do this for you. And I gave him a price and he agreed to that. So this is what I ended up building. Little 22290 standard circuit. I think that's a 5 amp relay. Something like that. But it'll handle it, no problem. And 22290s. So there you have it. Got a nice little system. Normal attenuation on it, 4.7 ohm. and got a nice big knob on a little cabinet. So stickers that I had made didn't design for this cabinet, so I had to fake it until you make it kind of thing. So I got it on there. It all good. So we're gonna take and turn on a few things, and we will run through the ropes on this stuff. Okay, this is on. Let's all right, we're gonna start this thing, the whole thing down soft. So I'm gonna run this all the way back, and we are going to, for now, look at my radio. Yeah, I can do that. We'll look at my radio, because my radio is down quite soft. And as you guys know, as I bring it up to full output power, just for we won't be bouncing back and making a long video out of this, here's a low power rating on the radio. And as I bring it all the way to full power, obviously I do somewhere right around 10.5 to 11 watts bird going into this 22290 box. So, okay, this is just the radio. And we're going to look at 25 watt slug. Audio, 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 audio. That's like 6.5 bird. Audio, 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 audio. I know all the way down it runs right around 7, 7.5. Lose a little bit of circuit because of what? All the coax going from A to B. So let's turn this back around, and we'll fire this little guy up. We're going to look at the 250 watt slug right here, and we should be able to peek at the amperage up here. So let's take a look at the output power on this unit. Audio, 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 audio. Now that's all the way down on a 250 watt slug, so each line is 5 watts. Hey Randy White, what's up, buddy? Hope all's well. I see my friend Snake in the Bayou's up in here. Albert. All right, here we go. 5 watts per division line. Audio, 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 audio. So I'm only doing 25 watts with this all the way down. 25 watts. And that's with a pretty soft radio. So the reason why I'm showing this low power, because this guy is going to be driving this into another amplifier that is biased. So if you have biasing, you don't understand. I'm going to turn this up about halfway. If you have biasing in your amplifier, that's especially a Texas Star, because they're known to have it in there, that means you're applying voltage to right here, and that voltage get applied right here to these two inputs of these transistors. So it's kind of like a push start to get it to go. So when you have bias in your amplifier, you really don't have to drive them very hard. But a lot of times, either these new radios today have too much power or not enough. So you kind of have to take not enough radio and take and get an amplifier and control it for what your needs are as far as drive going into another amplifier that would have biasing in it. So if Joey or Johnny or Lucy told you, oh, you got to have bias in your amplifier to go talk on sideband radio. No, you don't. You have to have a good delay in there and a good clean amplifier and radio tune. So with that said, applied bias is being voltage getting driven into the base of transistors. That's the same thing as what we're doing by using this unit. Now, my radio is driving into this. I'm controlling it here with attenuation. So this is your control as far as your output power goes. But as you back this down, you're gonna see that you're gonna have to increase your carrier on your radio to make somewhat of a carrier. So you're gonna have to have a radio that actually has a potentiometer on there. Here's a quick example. I'm gonna back it all the way down and let's see if I can get a carrier. All right. See, look, my radio is wide open right there. All right. So what do you think is gonna happen? Audio, audio, audio. All right, I'm still swinging forward, but what's gonna happen when I take and I crank it up halfway? You're gonna see something scary. Audio, 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 audio. The carrier did go up. Now, mind you, my radio's wide open. Audio, 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 audio. So I'm doing like 45 watts, which is cool. But if I didn't need this much carrier, that is 25. There's 10 watts of carrier. So if you put 10 watts of carrier in something, typically you would get times 10, and you should have a 100 watt carrier on the other end, let's say, for example, of this 8-pill. All right, so moving forward, there's about half power, real quick. Audio, 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 audio. So there's about 45 watts. Now that's still with my radio down low, but if I turn this dial all the way open and I still don't change my carrier, we're gonna look at that in a second, see where I was set. See, now I'm dead keying like 35 watts. So if I keep 35 watts into this 8 bill, I would expect to see somewhere right around 350 watts to 400 watt carrier level, depending on how high you got your mic gain picking up all the background noise. Because that's going to change your needle dead key as well. So if you want to really check your dead key, shut your mic gain off. All right, here you go, wide open. Audio, 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 audio. So that was 75, 80, 85 watts, and that was wide open. And let's check that carrier level real quick. Let's see what my radio is just putting out. So if you're running this thing by itself, let's see. Oh, I gotta look at this one, sorry. So each line is a half watt. So I was a little over 2 watts on that carrier to make it do that. And a lot of guys will set their radios up at 1 3/4 or 2 watts, and that's all good. It's all fine and dandy. So that's pretty much the ins and outs of this little unit. Now, if I'm down here at this voltage, and I'll do this one time. I'll turn this unit on, full open. Now remember, you go through to bypass this 8. And let's take a look. Audio, 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 audio. So best performance is right around 80, 85 watts, which is perfect. Because that's what we used to see out of the old 2290 Toshiba transistors. Now I'm going to turn my radio up. In today's world, where our radios do much more power, RMS and peak, than when the Toshibas were back in the day when we all used to run them. We didn't have radios that did 12, 14 watts bird. We didn't have those types of radios. We do now. So let's see what happened to my carrier. All right, here we go. Now that big old carrier just went way up. Why did it go up? Let's see. I just turned my voltage up. Let's see the carrier level now. And now I'm at a 5 watt carrier. Yeah, see, that's way too much. I'll turn that back around. Let's back this back. Let me do this again. Let me set this back at 2. Let's set it right back where I had it. Okay? So let's say you didn't have a dial watt in there. So here we go. Let's turn this on. I was waiting for to hear a fan. I didn't hear a fan. Turn this around. All right, here we go. Audio, 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 audio. 105 watts, 100 watts all day. Now here's your peaker tweaker number. Audio peaker tweaker tweaker. And let's look at the 5 kilowatt stage up here on 5,000 here. Tweaker, tweaker, tweaker. Each line is 100. Audio, audio, 1, 2. Is that right? 100, 150, 50. Audio, 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 audio. Yeah, peak shows a little high on the low end of that one. But either way, it's a reference. Speaker tweakers. It's just a reference. Isn't that right? There you go. All right, so now this unit's running really good. Now I'm going to take him back it all the way down. I'm going to introduce the 8 bill to the pile. You take in, turn on some stuff. Not working or not? Okay. Down, this better go up. Ooh. Not convinced it's working right. Yeah, it's working now. Alright, sorry about that. So, we're going to look at this real quick. Let me show you. We didn't get into that. We were into another one. Alright, so here we go. Here's the 8. Sorry, I almost skipped a step. And this is an 8 transistor unit, 2879 standards. Configuration is how I'm building these. This is a standard unit, South Jersey line. You can only get this box with either 2290s, 454s, or 2879 standards. You can't get this box with the C's in them. I'm not building them. This line is just for, again, those other transistors that we overlooked. That they work really, really well. So there you go, regular business in this unit. So we're going to get into it. 5/16 bolt. We got grease on everything in the back, so it ain't going to corrode ever. And got a nice looking paint job on it. Turned out well. All right, fan kit, 2 106 CFM 120 millimeter high velocity fans, and they put out some air. So let me set the lid and get this party started. All right. So we're going to start with add all the way down. Okay. Let's just take a peek at that real quick. And that's all the way down. I'm showing audio, audio, audio. So make this a little bigger. There we go. All right, here we go. 250 watt slug. Each line is half watt. Audio, 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 audio. So we're right at 25, 30 watts. 25, 30, 20. Yeah, 25 or 30. All right, 25 or 30 watts. Got a carrier. Let's see where our carrier's at. Let's shut my gain off. Let's check this out. So it looks like I'm putting about 22 watts into this unit. Working. All right, you've seen it up there earlier. Oh, I shut it off. Working wattage. All right, 250. All right, input reflection. 1,000 watt slug, and I have a carrier of about 240 bird. Now I'm going to modulate this little bit of power in here. Audio with some mic gain. Audio, 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 audio. So that's showing me right around 540 bird with this much drive. Audio, 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 audio. 540 bird with 30 to 35 watts of drive at 14.8. Now here's your peaker, tweaker, 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 tweaker. Now if you're a purchase guy and you're going to purchase an amp, don't put all your eggs in that peak basket, because that guy could be selling you an amp that's only doing this much power, and it's an 8-pill. By just in a couple more moves, that needle's going to be deep in the corner. But this peak isn't going to change a whole lot, so y'all keep that number in mind right there. All right. Now, as I increase my input power, my output power should change as well, and also my dead key is going to change as well. So let's just see where we're at on dead key right now. So I'm holding about 240. Let's turn this up about halfway. No other changes. Let's see where I'm going to dead key now. A whole lot. 600 watts. Why am I dead keying at 600 watts? Let me double check that. Cut the mic gain off. 590. Alright, why is that? Do we have 50 watt carrier or more? Heck no. We're down at 25. What am I looking at? 250. 50 is at 5. So yeah, we're down low. We're down at 20 watts. 20 watts input level drive. These transistors fill up really quick, guys. Meaning, how much carrier and how much modulation you put in something. These transistors aren't like the C's. They fill up quick. All right, let's get this down here. All right, there's a 300 watt carrier. All right, now let's see what we're putting into the 300. 5, 10, 15 watts. Not even. Alright, here we go. Let's put some modulation on it. 1,000 watt slug bomb scale, each line's 20. Hello, 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 hello. I'm doing 800 bird. Now what is my output power of my 2-pill right now? Audio, 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 audio. 55 to 60 watts, making great power. Audio, 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 audio. All right, not quite 8. Let's look at our amperage. Audio, audio, audio. 103, 105. Still got a lot of room to grow. Let's look at the amperage on both the units running. Audio, audio, audio. Okay, got a little cable loss in there. All right, now here is the peaker tweaker time. Did it change a lot? Audio, audio, it sure did not. Only about 100 to 150 watts that changed. Now, am I going to make more peak if I give it more drive? Am I going to make more RMS if I give it more drive? Absolutely. This amplifier still has room to grow. Why? Because we have not exhausted it. So, my radio is at full output power right now too. You guys are going to see the full outgo, and then I'll back it down and show you if the guy didn't have a radio like this. So, again, ain't changed my carrier. Let's see what happened to it. Shut the mic gain off. Bingo! She's all the way over there. Where was I dead keying? Way up there at 40, 45 watts carrier. You don't want to really do that. So what do? You back carrier down. back at that, about 300 mark. Seems like a good number to run tonight. All right, this is wide open. My radio's running hot. Fans are spinning. Let's see my drive. Audio drive, audio drive, audio drive. A little over 100. Input reflection. This is a 25 watt slug, each line's a half. Audio, 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 audio. Right under 2.5. All right, here we go, here we go. 1,000 watts. Is it going to go hard? Audio, audio, I would say so. Let's move over to this guy over here. Here's a 5 kilowatt slug. Each line's 100. Audio, 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 audio. So I'm hanging out right around 1050, 1100. Well, here's your peaker tweaker number. Peaker, tweaker, audio, 1212. So we moved up again. So when we started from the lowest to the tallest, we gained about 250 watts peak. And here's the peak in the digital, audio, 12. And here's a peak in the analog, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and that one is just getting beat down, audio, audio. So, everything is very, very happy. And if you're running this system, just to clarify, what's up, Charlie? How are you, man? Peaker, tweaker, tweaker, peaker. Let's remind you of coax. It really does matter, the length of the coax, going A, B, C, D, and F if you have an F. But from the radio to this driver, I'm running a half a wavelength, or electrically a half a wavelength, or layman's terms, 12 foot. But that 12 foot thing don't come in play unless you're playing with 213 or the velocity factor family of 0.66. This is 0.66 as well. This is at 9201 Belden. But this family that I'm running on here, all the way to the dummy load, is all 0.66, and it's all cut to frequency. So that means I stub tuned my coax. It's really important that if you're going to run a line section or not, if you stub tune your coax, incorporate your line section in that piece of coax that you're going to run in your system, because you could stub tune out your coax, put your line section on, go and check it. It's going to be on a whole different frequency that you pick. I guarantee you that. I've been down that rabbit hole. I don't want to go back into it. But easy enough. These boxes, I changed the market a little bit by dropping my prices way down on this stuff, where you guys can get some of the cool equipment that I build and I used to build, and then I changed things, and yeah, I changed things around. I try to keep it fresh. But the other Mowatts and Mozilla line, Psycho Zip line, it's still available. But right now, economy stuff in those boxes do cost more money than what I'm giving you here. Are these making the same amount of power as those other boxes? No. For the simple fact is, the Mozilla and the Mowatts got 2879's. They always do more power. It's like adding transistors to this 8, and you could say, oh, it's like a 10 pill. That's how those transistors add up with those extra chips in each transistor. So, that said, I don't know what happened to Molly. We'll go see if I can dig her out. Check it out. Hey Molly, I gotta get Scott to make you a song about Mozilla. Come here and say hi to everybody. Come here, Molly. Come here, good girl. Molly, come. Come sit, Linda. Linda, hi, Linda. You say my name ain't Linda, it's Molly. You gonna shake? You gonna shake? Come on, give me a shake. Good girl. You gonna wave? You gonna say hi to everybody? Hi, wave. Molly, you gonna wave? That's a good girl. Oh, you tipped over. Yeah, you had a good dinner tonight, eh? Yeah, banana pancakes. You like that, huh? So what happened? Molly, woof, woof. You gonna talk? You're limping again. You're done? Molly? Well, that's Molly's little review. Well, there you have it. Little 2 transistor unit and a 2879 standard 8. good looking box, runs really nice. You guys should really enjoy it. So, as far as things coming up, again, I'm going. I just have to keep on pushing on some of this stuff. But been talking a little bit of DX when we have it, having a little bit of fun with that. Catch me on 11 a lot, again, because 6 is pretty rough, and you guys know that. I ain't even gonna sugarcoat that. You already know. You get in it when you can, and you better get out. You get ran over. But guys, take care. Thanks for watching. I haven't did video after video for a while, just because I've been doing a lot of other things. But there you go. If you are looking for one of these units, hit me up. I'm easy to contact. So y'all take care. God bless. I'm rolling out of here. Take care.